Hey guys, Marissa at KitchenTableStamper.com. I've got a quick little cute stocking stuffer. It's the last of my couple of holiday projects. I just love this little box. It's for 2 of the North Pole Nutty Buddies. I found these Little Debbie North Pole Nutty Buddies at Meijer. Check your discount store for these. And this box is designed to hold 2. All right. It features the Festive Post stamp set. This is available while supplies last. And we're going to do a quick bit of stamping with it. Let me grab some Stampin' pads here. I have Old Olive, Poppy Parade, and Soft Suede. Grab a Stampin' Pierce mat because Festive Post is a 17-piece photopolymer stamp set. So we're going to need a Stampin' Pierce mat. I did a little die cutting ahead of time and we're going to stamp on this tag. I cut it from Whisper White using the Ornate Frames dies. It's this little long skinny tag that I use all the time. And then I also cut a Whisper White stitched circle. It's the second largest, this 1 7/8 inch, also Whisper White. And I got a little scrap of Whisper White. So I'm gonna take my little car with the tree tied to the top image and I'm gonna ink that up with Soft Suede. I'm gonna stamp that on the stitch circle up to the very top. That way we're gonna have Soft Suede for our wheels and our tree trunk. But then we wanna clean that off. And we're gonna switch colors to Poppy Parade. I got my simple chamois here. Clean that off. Before I stamp in the Poppy Parade, I'm going to let it dry just a little bit. That'll help keep the integrity of our ink. Got the little tree, the fill in here, and we're going to ink that up in Old Olive and fill in our tree. I love these clear stamps where you can just see where you're going. Got my Poppy Parade. We're going to make a Poppy Parade car here on this little scrap. And then I also have Merry Christmas from the same Festive Post stamp set. We're gonna we're gonna stamp on the tag, but the tag was a little long for this project, so we're gonna cut it down a bit. I'm just gonna pop it right in my paper trimmer and take 1/4 inch off the end of the tag. Quick little haircut, and now it's a better size for our project. If you want, once you take that edge off, you can use your paper snips and just really gently soften the corner. You just take the littlest snip. It just makes it a little softer. It's an option if you like it. It's just a little detail. I've got Merry Christmas in Soft Suede ink. We're going to stamp that to the right of the tag so we have room for the bow. And that's our stamping for this project. Let me clear away the Stampin' pads. Got a tiny bit of fussy cutting to do here. I'm going to cut the wheels off of this car. And we're going to cut out the body so we can have a red car with a green tree tied on the roof. And our tires can still be that soft suede. So a little bit of fussy cutting. You're going to leave a little white border except for where the tree touches the top of the car because you want that nice green tree to show. So you're going to cut right on your red line where the tree touches the car. Everything else gets a tiny little border of white to preserve the integrity of the stamped line. So there's our little car. Leave them upside down. We're going to put some dimensionals on the back. All right, dimensionals are sticky. Let's go ahead and add our little red car on top of the brown one. Hide that brown body. Now we've got brown wheels and trunk, but a red car. Isn't that cute? All right, let's get to our box here. Got some Poppy Parade cardstock. This Poppy Parade cardstock is 6 1/4 by 7 5/8. Pop it in the Simply Scored tool on the 6 1/4 inch side. And we're gonna score at 5/8. At 2 7/8, at 3 1/2, and 5 3/4. Then we're going to rotate and score at 1/2, at 1 1/8, at 6 1/2, and 7 1/8. Let's work those score lines with the bone folder. All right, we've got all the score lines worked. Now you're going to trim away the excess, and there will be a photograph of the template on the blog for you. And it's really important here. One of these is 5/8. It's the one that you started with on the left-hand side. That 5/8 of an inch is the front of your box. This last tab that's 1/2 an inch, that's the tuck tab. So it's important that you watch the orientation of that. So this is the 5/8 inch piece, and we want that one towards us. And we're going to start there. So this is the 5/8, and in the corner, we're going to take out this little rectangle right here. And you can go all the way down to the second score line when you take out that rectangle and debulk. Same thing with the opposite corner. So we're going to take out this little rectangle, go all the way down, and then you can debulk. And that right there is the front side of your box. Now these are going to make the side tabs. So you're going to leave both of these rectangles. You're going down to the next score line, and you're going to cut and debulk. Then you'll skip to the next vertical score line. You'll cut and debulk. You're cutting 2 horizontal score lines in, and then you'll take off that little square. All right, next one, other side, same way. Now we're at the cover of the box, the top of the box, the front. So we just need this big rectangle here. We're going to cut off from this tab all the way to the end. There's 4 rectangles here you're going to cut, and there's 4 rectangles here you're going to cut. So if you want to, you can start all the way at this end. Nice straight line, and remove, and then same here. Now we're going to grab a corner rounder and add some nice little detail to our tuck tabs for the front of the box and for the sides. All right, all of our corners are rounded. Now we're going to need a thumb notch so that we can easily lift this tab. We're going to get our centering ruler for that. You're so far off center. All right, so we'll line up that tab on our centering ruler. The Stampin' Up! Grid paper has a centering ruler across the top. And what I like to do is just take this center segment here, and we're gonna line this up until we have equal measurements from the 0 out. So you can see here we're at 3, here we're at 2 3/8. So we need to slide until we've got it equal. So 2 5/8 and 2 5/8. So this 0 point is our center. I love a centering ruler because my eyes are totally not on center. All right, let's get a little circle punch here. I'm going to use a little 1/2 inch circle punch. And then we just slide in halfway, center the mark, and punch away the thumb notch. Last up, we need a window in our box, so let's grab our rectangle die. So I chose for my window a rectangle, stitch rectangle dies. It's kind of right in the middle, towards the smaller side. It's 1 7/16 wide by 2 3/4 long. All right, we want to be working on the outside of the box because it's going to leave a little stitched rectangle end, and we want about 1/2 to 5/8 of an inch from the top of the box and centered right to left. I'm just popping a little rectangle on. I'm going to put a little low tack tape to keep it in place. Yep. There's our treat box with the window. Let's fold it up and add our designer series paper. I've got a piece of Trimming the Town designer series paper here. It's 2 1/4 by 1 3/4. And we're going to adhere that right to the cover of our little treat box here. I'm using some Stampin' Seal Plus. We'll just center it right to left. It'll cover the whole width, but we'll center it top to bottom. And then we can add some tear and tape. You could probably use your Stampin' Seal Plus here also on our tabs. All 4 tabs get some adhesive. Okay, we're gonna bring our tabs in, square up our box. There's the front and then the back. Do both sides. And our cutie little box. Isn't that great? Let's put our treat in. Couldn't resist. They're so festive. Nutty bars decorated with North Pole stripes. So simple. And they're perfectly Poppy Parade too. Pop them in the box. Let's get our sample back in here and our stamping. Got a scrap of soft suede cardstock here and a scrap of pear pizzazz. Let's go ahead and cut a little pine tree using our pine tree punch from the pear pizzazz. We're going to run that through the embossing machine. Got my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine here. Isn't it adorable? And let's pop the tree into the folder. This is wrapped in texture. This is retiring. You can get this while supplies last. 2 of these little folders with the greatest little textures. You can see this one's got like a little basket weave almost. It's tiny and adorable. I'm gonna pop that through our machine. It's a standard folder, so we'll use 1 and 3. Give that a little crank. I love these folders so much. You can get them in Festive Post while supplies last. There. A little more punching. I've got my Label Me Lovely punch here. And we're gonna punch that one from soft suede scrap. Bring in our car, our samples. Such a cutie. Another fun All the Trimmings ribbon combo pack. This is also available while supplies last. Get 2 great colors. This satin ribbon with a metallic trim. We're going to tie a little bow. I got the Poppy Parade. I thought it made a nice contrast against the tree. I think you could use the old olive too, because our tree is pear pizzazz, but I'm sticking to the same. These are for my 3 kids, and so I'll do them all exactly the same. Trim. Get that off the spool. Need a glue dot to adhere it to our tag. And we'll just adhere that right over the hole in the tag. And we can trim our tails just a little bit. It's a little bow. Tails were a little long. Now, here's an important part. We're going to add our little soft suede label, but you don't want to pass the stitched edge because you'll glue your box closed. If there's adhesive above that line, it's going to stick to your treat and you'll glue the box closed. So if you want to, you can just add some dry adhesive right to your box. or carefully add just to the bottom half of the label. That's going to go centered right to left and over the window a little bit. You can put a couple on the tree too. We'll start with the trunk. The tree's going to hang off the box a little bit, so we want to be careful with our adhesive placement. Let's add our circle centered in our label, and then our tree. We can add a little bit of liquid or dry adhesive where the tree is going to be on this bumped up label. We don't want it to interfere with our car. And then we can take a snip of dimensional adhesive and add a little bit to support the back of the tree at the edge of the box. So a little more dimensional there. And now we know that there's no adhesive past the end of the box. Our Merry Christmas tag can go on with a little bit of Stampin' Seal Plus. And there are our Nutty Buddy North Pole treats. You've got last minute stocking stuffers or last minute treats. Give this with a little hot cocoa. What a great gift for your mail person or UPS guy who's bringing your Stampin' Up! Orders. This is fantastic for a hairdresser, a school teacher. Any of you seeing your school teachers right now? Kids stocking stuffers. The kids love the Nutty Buddies. If you've got any questions about the project, email Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com. To shop Stampin' Up! Products 24/7, buzz over to marisaalvarez.stampinup.net. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.